Matty Wotton from Birmingham, Ian Gretton from Brighton, Philip Hardingham from Dereham in Cumbria, Helen Grayson from Leeds, Russell Turner from Heatherset in Norfolk, Gavin Hodgson from Stoke Newington in London, Dag Griffiths from Ormskirk in Lancashire, Mike Edwards from Worksop in Nottinghamshire, Daphne Fowler from Weston-super-Mare, Alan Wynne from Heversham in Cumbria, David Colley from Undy in Monmouthshire, Mike Wilson from Oxford, Nigel Davis from Cumbraen in Torbain, Malcolm Drummond from Heaton near Leeds, and Michael Penrice from Wigton in Cumbria are all here to play the 15-1 Grand Final, presented by William T. Stewart.
Thank you. Hello and welcome to the 29th Grand Final of 15-1. Here's how the finals board finished up, and Daphne Fowler, Michael Penrice, Matty Wotton, Dag Griffiths and Philip Hardingham have all appeared in previous Grand Finals. As I told you yesterday, Mark Chamberlain at number 15 on the board with 181 points can't be with us today, and in a playoff in the last hour between David Logan, Robin Mackley and Helen Grayson, who all finished with 171 points, Helen Grayson, who was also in the Grand Final last time, came through as the winner. At the top, Daphne Fowler's score of 432, the second highest ever, and indeed the second highest possible score on 15-1, wins for her our top of the finals board trophy, this beautiful 19th century blue and white crystal white wine decanter. Laura?
There you are. There. Very well done. Must have a lead at the top of the finals. Take it.
And this is what today is all about, our grand final trophy, a decorated, reel-shaped pyxis, complete with its lid. It comes from Athens and the 3rd century BC. And now, as I always say on the grand final, let battle commence, with 2 questions each in the first round and 1 correct answer from you to survive. And we start with Matty Wotton from Birmingham. Matty, the Royal Company of Archers is in attendance on the Queen when she is in residence at which official royal palace?
Holyrood.
And Ian, please. On the 12th of April, a 34-year-old man called Paul Slane accepted the George Cross from the Queen on behalf of which organisation?
The Royal Ulster Constabulary.
Philip, please. English law. What position is held by a gentleman called Lawrence Oates, whose duties include acting in the High Court for parties who have no one to act for them?
Friend.
The official solicitor. Helen, please. Athletics. In which event has the 15-year-old Australian girl, Georgie Clark, who will compete in the Sydney Olympics, run faster than Sebastian Coe, Steve Ovett and Steve Cram did at 15?
The mile.
The 1,500 metres. Russell, please. Business and politics. The publishing company Haymarket, which produces magazines including What Car, PR Week and Campaign, was founded by which former Conservative Cabinet Minister and Deputy Prime Minister?
Michael Heseltine.
Gavin, the name, please, Christian name and surname, of the 6-year-old Cuban boy who has been at the centre of controversy in the United States since November of 1999.
Elian Gonzalez.
Dag, please. Music. The famous trumpet voluntary was long attributed to Henry Purcell, but is now known to have been written by which other English composer?
Jeremiah Clarke.
Mike, please. History of medicine. Joseph Merrick, who lived from 1862 to 1890, was a severely deformed sufferer from von Recklinghausen's disease and was exhibited as a freak. By what name was he publicly known?
The Elephant Man.
Daphne, please. BBC Radio 4. What's the title of the intellectual discussion programme on Radio 4 on Thursdays, chaired by Melvyn Bragg?
I don't know.
In Our Time. Alan, please. The Oscars. 2 British film directors won Oscars in March. Sam Mendes for American Beauty, who for Best Documentary with his film One Day in September?
Mike Lee.
Kevin MacDonald. And David, still Kevin MacDonald, what is the subject matter of his documentary film One Day in September?
No idea.
The 1972 Munich Olympics and the terrorist attack on the Israeli team. Mike, please, on which river does the city of Hereford lie?
Why?
Nigel, please. Contemporary writers. Lake Woebegone Days in 1985. We Are Still Married, 1989. The Man Who Loved Cheese, 1996. The American writer and broadcaster, please.
Garrison Keillor.
Malcolm, what name is given to the public entrance to the Palace of Westminster at which people queue to watch proceedings from the Strangers' Gallery in the Commons?
The lobby.
St Stephen's Entrance. Michael, please. Television. Which actor and broadcaster connects the historical comedy Blackadder and the archaeology series Time Team?
Tony Robinson.
And your second question, Matty. First name and surname, please. Who holds the position of Chief Rabbi in the United Kingdom?
Jonathan Sachs.
Ian, please. Which city in southern France is the centre of France's aerospace industry?
Toulouse.
Philip, please. The pop groups Take That, Simply Red and Oasis all originated from which city?
Manchester.
Helen, please. Music. Of which major British orchestra is the Finn Sakari Oromo the principal conductor?
City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra.
It is. CBSO. Russell, please. Television. Elizabeth Gaskell's final novel was adapted for a BBC television series late last year, starring Michael Gambon and Francesca Annis. The title, please.
Oh, I can't remember.
Wives and Daughters. Gavin, 20th century literature. The title, please, of E.M. Forster's novel set in the city of Chandrapur and the nearby Marabar Caves.
Passage to India.
Pardon?
Passage to India.
Yes, indeed, OK. Dag, please. In astronomy, what term is used to indicate the measurement of brightness of a star or other celestial object?
Magnitude.
It is. Mike, please. Olympic sport. 2 field events for women will be included in the Olympic Games for the first time at Sydney. Either of the two, please.
Hammer.
Yes, and the pole vault. Daphne, please. English football. In the 8 seasons since the Premiership was inaugurated, Manchester United have won it 6 times. Either of the other 2 clubs which have won it?
Newcastle.
Arsenal or Blackburn Rovers? Alan, please. In which branch of science are the Englishmen Sir John Herschel and Sir William Huggins and the Americans George Ellery Hale and Edwin Powell Hubble famous names?
Astronomy.
David, please. Mathematics. 10 to the power 3 is 1,000. 10 to the power 2 is 100. What is 10 to the power 0?
0.
1. Mike, please. Poets. Mavanwi Piper, to whom some of his poems were dedicated, was the unattainable love of which poet laureate?
John Betjeman.
Nigel, please. Scotland. Which loch, an arm of the Firth of Clyde and extending from the Sound of Bute, has long been famous for its herring fisheries?
Lomond.
Loch Fyne. And Malcolm, please. He died in March at the age of 94 and will be best remembered for his 12-novel sequence published between 1951 and 75, A Dance to the Music of Time. Which novelist?
Sorry.
Anthony Powell. Michael, the Queen's birthday. Why was the 41-gun salute traditionally fired in Hyde Park and the 62-gun salute at the Tower of London on the Queen's natural birthday, the 21st of April, not fired this year until the 22nd of April?
Because the 21st was a Sunday.
It was Good Friday. Three down, 12 to go. Laura?
And they are Daphne Fowler, David Colley and Malcolm Drummond. And of the remaining 12 contestants, 6 still have their 3 lives intact.
Matty, music again. Which British conductor, formerly with the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra, will in 2002 become the principal conductor with the Berlin Philharmonic?
Sir Simon Rattle.
A number, please.
12.
Mike, monarchy. George V, Edward VIII and George VI were the first 3 monarchs of the House of Windsor. They were born members of which royal house?
Saxe-Coburg-Gotha.
Hanover. Again, please, Matty.
7.
Dag, please. Which Commonwealth island country has 3 national languages? Sinhala, Tamil and English?
Sri Lanka.
A number, please.
2.
Business terminology, Ian. What does distress merchandise mean when applied to goods?
Is it goods that have been taken from people who are in receivership or bankruptcy?
Yes, they're goods that are seized and sold to secure payment of a company's debts.
10, please.
Alan, please. For what purpose is an Archimedes screw used?
Raising water.
Onwards, please.
15.
Michael, the game of Monopoly. There are now versions of Monopoly based on several British cities apart from London. Which version includes the locations Chinatown, Haymarket and St James's Boulevard?
Manchester.
Newcastle and Gateshead. Newcastle, the city. And onwards?
Number 3, please.
Scotland, Philip. Why is Jean Armour a famous name in Scotland?
She's the wife of Robbie Burns.
And number, please, Philip.
12, please.
Mike. The capital cities of 3 European Union countries lie to the west of London. 2 of the 3 cities, please.
Reykjavik and Lisbon.
Lisbon, Madrid and Dublin. Again, please.
13, please.
And Nigel, please. Formula One motor racing. Which British driver won his second successive British Grand Prix on Easter Sunday of this year?
David Coulthard.
A number, please.
Number 6, please.
Gavin, who is the Secretary of State for Social Security?
Alistair Darling.
A number, please.
Number 8.
And Mike, the highest value of coin that is legal tender in the United Kingdom was introduced in 1987. It is one in the range of Britannia coins, is 22 carat gold, and 750 were issued last year. What value?
£50.
£100. Again, please, Gavin.
Number 15.
This is sport and tennis. Michael? The last British winner of a singles title at Wimbledon was Virginia Wade in 1977. 2 British women won singles titles at Wimbledon in the 1960s. Either of the 2, please.
Anne Jones.
And Angela Mortimer. A number, please.
1, please.
Matty, the name, please, of the scientific institution formed in 1660, whose presidents have included Isaac Newton, Humphrey Davy and Christopher Wren.
The Royal Society.
Yes. And onwards, please.
4.
Helen, which novel by Sir Walter Scott has a purely English theme, is set in the reign of King Richard I and tells the story of a young noble Saxon?
Ivanhoe.
A number, please.
Number 2.
Sport and games, I suppose, Ian? Harold Vanderbilt won 3 America's Cups in the 1930s, but will probably be best remembered as the inventor of which form of which card game?
Canasta.
Contract bridge. Again, Helen, please.
Number 6.
Gavin, the chemical formula of which colourless alkaline gas is NH3?
Ammonia.
A number, please, Gavin.
Number 13.
Astronomy, please, Nigel. Aurora Borealis is the Northern Lights. How is the constellation whose Latin name is Corona Borealis more commonly referred to in English?
The Northern Cross.
Northern Crown. Corona. Again, please.
12.
The Bond films, Mike. Which is the most recent Bond film to have been released?
Tomorrow Never Dies.
The World Is Not Enough. Again, please, Gavin.
10.
Mythology, please, Alan. In Arthurian legend, Vivian was the mistress of whom?
Galahad.
Merlin, the wizard. Again, please.
3.
And Philip, with which Scottish region does Northumberland have a boundary?
Borders.
Yes, Scottish borders. And onwards, please.
13, please.
Music, please, Nigel. What is meant by the musical direction or instruction Arcato? A-R-C-A-T-O. Arcato.
I don't know.
It means to play with the bow, or to resume playing with the bow after pizzicato. Again, please.
10, please.
Alan, the name, please, of the organisation founded in Britain in 1961 to campaign on behalf of political prisoners and prisoners of conscience.
Amnesty
A
International.
number, please, Alan.
Number 1, please.
13th, 14th century art, Matty. The name, please, of the artist who, when approached by a messenger of the Pope looking to employ artists, reputedly paused from his work and drew a perfect circle freehand on a piece of paper?
Giotto.
Yes, Matty. A number, please.
7.
Science. In physics, Dag, what name is given to the property of a substance which restricts the flow of direct current through it?
Resistor.
No, it's resistance. Again, please, Matty.
6.
Famous ships, please, Gavin. Which 19th century Royal Naval ship which took part in the Battle of Trafalgar was the subject of both a poem by Henry Newbolt and a famous painting by Turner?
The Temeraire.
Yes, Temeraire. Yes, OK. Again, onwards.
5.
Russell, please. Who in Russian legend is the child-eating ogress who lives in a hut which stands on chicken legs?
I haven't got a clue.
Baba Yaga. Again, please, Gavin.
Number 2.
Ian. Ancient Britain. Early in the 3rd century, Britain was divided into 2 separate provinces. Londinium, or London, was the capital of Britannia Superior, Upper Britain. Which present-day city was the capital of Britannia Inferior, or Lower Britain?
York.
Yes. Aberarkham. Yes. Not a bad guess, Ian.
Right.
For a grand final. Onwards, please.
15.
Shakespeare, Michael, please. The course of true love never did run smooth. From which Shakespeare play does that famous line come?
Romeo and Juliet.
A Midsummer Night's Dream, the line spoken by Lysander. Again?
10, please.
Space travel, please, Alan. 1969. The Eagle has landed. The Eagle was the lunar module that landed on the moon. What was the name of the command module that took Armstrong, Aldrin and Collins to the moon?
Voyager.
Columbia. Again, please, Ian.
5, please.
Russell, still space in the United States. A plaque reading, "We came in peace for all mankind," was left on the moon in 1969, having been signed by 4 men. The 3 astronauts who went to the moon. Who was the 4th signature?
The President.
Yes, Nixon. And a number, please, Russell?
Number 1.
Athletics, Matty. In a 4x100 metres relay team, how many runners take the baton from one runner and pass it on to another?
2.
The middle 2. And onwards?
3.
Cricket, Philip. The England captain, Nasser Hussain, which county side does he play for?
Essex.
A number, please, Philip.
4, please.
Television, Helen. What's the name of the warrior princess in a regular programme on Channel 5?
Xena.
A number, please.
Number 8.
World War II, Mike. What was the code name for the German invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941?
Barbarossa.
Onwards, please.
Number 6.
Science and physics, Gavin. What word is used to describe the rate of change of velocity with time?
Acceleration or
A number, please,
deceleration?
Gavin.
Number 3.
Philip, in which Welsh county are the Swallow Falls, Thomas Telford's Waterloo Bridge spanning the River Conwy, and the slate quarry town of Bethesda?
Gwyneth.
A number, please, Philip.
Number 8, please.
Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, Mike, is a serving naval officer. What rank does he hold?
Major.
Commander. Again, please, Philip.
7, please.
On the same subject, Dag, the present Duke of York is, of course, the Queen's son. What relation to the Queen was the last man to be Duke of York?
Father.
A number, please, Dag.
1.
Astronomy, Matty. What term is given to the point at which a body moving in an orbit is at its greatest distance from its sun?
Aphelion.
A number, please, Matty.
4.
Sport and swimming, Helen. What 2-word term refers to the 2 swimming events over 200 metres and 400 metres in which competitors use each of the 4 recognised strokes?
A medley relay.
No. Individual medley. Again, please.
3.
Philip, please. John Major entered the House of Commons in the year that Mrs Thatcher first entered Downing Street. Which year?
1979.
Again, please, Philip.
7, please.
Food and drink, Dag. The name of which type of pasta translates into English as little tongues?
Linguini.
A number, please.
1.
Europe, please, Matty. On which date was the single European currency launched?
1st of January 1999.
And a number?
6.
Literature. J.G. Ballard, please, Gavin. A young boy in wartime Shanghai joins up with an American steward to run a black market in rations stolen from a refugee camp. Which novel by J.G. Ballard?
The Empire of the Sun.
Yes, Empire of the Sun. And onwards?
2.
Ian, on which river does the city of Lincoln stand?
The Wensum.
The Witham. Again, please, Gavin.
Number 4.
Mathematics, Helen. What's the highest single digit used in the octal number system?
7.
Yes, because it starts with 0. Onwards, please.
5, please.
Museums, please, Russell. The Petrie Museum at University College London is devoted to the archaeology of which ancient civilization?
Babylonians.
Egypt. Again, please, Helen.
6.
Still Egypt, Gavin. Which city on the east bank of the Nile is the site of the southern part of ancient Thebes, close to the Valley of the Kings?
Luxor.
A number, please, Gavin.
3.
Philip, the arts. John Christie is a famous name in the arts for something he did in 1934. What did he do in 1934?
Founded Glyndebourne.
And a number, please.
Number 8, please.
The Bible, the New Testament, Mike. Who is the only one of the 12 apostles to have a wife mentioned in the Bible? In Luke chapter 4.
Simon Peter.
Yes, indeed. Although his wife's name is not mentioned. And onwards.
Number 2.
Ian, Shardik, The Plague Dogs, Watership Down. The author, please.
Richard Adams.
A number, please.
4.
Helen, electoral law. Questions concerning changes in electoral law are considered periodically at Westminster at conferences known as what?
Boundary commissions.
Speakers' conferences, because they're under the chairmanship of the Speaker of the House. Ian?
Number 8.
English law, please, Mike. What does the Latin phrase functus officio mean?
No.
It means no longer having power or jurisdiction. Again, please.
3.
Television, please, Philip. Who are the main male and female presenters on The Big Breakfast on Channel 4?
Lisa Tarbuck and Johnny Vaughan.
And number, please?
Number 1, please.
Matty, politics. Who is the only peer of the realm in the 20th century to have renounced his peerage in order to enter the House of Commons as Prime Minister?
Alec Douglas Hume.
Yes, and onwards, please.
7.
And Dag. And which other peer also renounced his peerage in 1963 in the hope of becoming leader of the Conservative Party and Prime Minister?
Hailsham.
Yes, Lord Hailsham. Onwards.
2, please.
Music, please, Ian. According to the old opera adage, the tenor has all the best tunes, but the baritone has what?
The best words?
Nearly, but not quite.
Lyrics?
No, all the best parts. Again, please.
1.
And Matty, in which English county does the M1 cross the M25?
Hertfordshire.
A number, please.
3.
The Roman Catholic Church, Philip. According to the Roman Catholic Church, there are 7 acts described as corporal works of mercy. 2 of those 7, please.
Charity and obedience.
Well, all 7 are charity, and obedience doesn't come into it. They are feeding the hungry, clothing the naked, giving drink to the thirsty, visiting prisoners, sheltering the homeless, visiting the sick, and burying the dead. And another number, please, Matty.
7, please.
This is religion again, please, Dag. What name was given to the early religious recluses and ascetics who lived on top of pillars?
Stylites.
A number, please.
3, please.
The motor car industry, Philip. Matisse, Lanos, Nubira, Leganza, Corando and Musso. Models made by which motor car manufacturer?
Daewoo.
Yes, Daewoo. Onwards.
1, please.
Matty, Norodom Sihanouk is the king of which Asian country?
Cambodia.
A number, please.
7.
Pop music, Dag. Life Through a Lens and I've Been Expecting You. Best-selling albums for which pop star?
George Michael.
Robbie Williams. Again, please.
3.
And Philip, please. 15th century history. Which king of England signed the Treaty of Troyes with the Burgundians in 1420, which recognised him as the heir to the French throne?
Henry V.
A number, please.
7, please.
And popular composers, Dag. The name, please, of the American composer and songwriter who collaborated with the lyricist Hal David on songs such as Alfie, What's New Pussycat, and I'll Never Fall in Love Again.
Burt Bacharach.
A number, please.
6, please.
Greek mythology, Gavin. The Pleiades were the 7 daughters of which Titan?
Kronos.
Atlas. Again, Dag.
3, please.
Law, please. Philip, what term is used in law to describe the state of those related through marriage?
In-laws.
Affinity. Well, I don't know about you, but I think the standard on these grand finals gets higher every year. Anyway, after the break, Matty Wotton from Birmingham, Gavin Hodgson from Stoke Newington in London and Dag Griffiths from Ormskirk in Lancashire will be here for the final of the grand final. Do please stay with us.
Wherever you live, you can have 100 minutes of local evening calls or internet time absolutely free every single month. We thought it just might come in handy. To switch to cable and wireless, just call 0500 500 500, wherever you live.
So you all right with that, John?
Oh, yeah.
You off to the drinks machine, Marion?
Yeah, coffee time.
Well, hop on my back. I'll give you a ride.
Right.
You see, at AA Insurance, we do the legwork. We search our list of leading insurance companies for our customers so they don't have to.
Thanks, Leo.
Enjoy your coffee, Marion. Getting customers good deals on their home insurance is my caffeine.
AA Insurance, 0800 444 777.
The pain-killing power of Ibuleave in a large-size mousse for even better value. Ibuleave mousse. Pain relief couldn't be easier.
Otex eardrops disperse earwax and can avoid syringing. Ask your pharmacist for the UK's #1 selling eardrops, Otex.
The pain-killing power of Ibuleave, harnessed in a spray. Ibuleave spray for those hard-to-reach areas.
For your Island Holidays brochure, call us free on 0800 55 5500. We're waiting for your call.
It's unbelievable. Round 10 and still not a punch thrown.
If you make a promise, shouldn't you live up to it? Take e-commerce. Your website may be sorted, but what about delivery? How will you satisfy 25 million households? Visit our website.
The three surviving contestants in the 15-1 grand final are Matty Wotton, an archive student from Birmingham, Gavin Hodgson, a musician from Stoke Newington in London, and Dag Griffiths, a teacher from Ormskirk in Lancashire.
Thank you. Welcome back. Matty, Gavin, Dag, the final of the grand final. 40 questions, all on the buzzer. First to buzz gets a chance to answer. Please don't answer until I ask you, because the lights going on will tell me who buzzed in first. And remember, I do need the answers that are on the cards. Here we go. History over the centuries. What location on the River Thames in Surrey links a 13th, Dag?
Runnymede.
Yes, 13th century English monarch and a 20th century American president. Quotations. Of which character in the New Testament did Mrs. Thatcher once say in a television interview, no one would remember him if he'd only had good intentions? Matty?
Judas Iscariot.
The Good Samaritan. He had money as well. Food and drink. Taken from the Urdu word for bucket. What name is... Dag?
Balti.
Very well interrupted. Asian cooking. In which activity were the Englishmen Tom Cribb, Daniel Mendoza, Matty?
Prize fighting.
Yes, and Jem Belcher, famous names in the early 19th century. Overthrown in a military coup in 1999, Nawaz Sharif. Dag?
Pakistan.
Quotations from fiction. It was a blonde to make a bishop kick a hole in a stained glass window. Those words could only come from one fictional... Gavin?
Philip Marlowe.
In computing, what generic name is given for a list of options or commands displayed on a screen? Dag?
Menu.
Princess Anne, how old will she be on her next birthday? August... Matty?
50.
She will be. Awards and decorations. The Order of Merit is restricted to a full membership of 24. Which former president of an African country is the only honorary member of the order? Matty?
Nelson Mandela.
Will you please look at this and tell me what names connect this 18th, 19th century English romantic poet and this 19th, 20th century English composer? Matty?
Samuel Coleridge. Samuel Taylor Coleridge and Samuel Coleridge Taylor.
Indeed, that's right. OK, on we go then, please. And the Bible, the King James Version, Genesis. And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark. So there were 8 people on the ark. Noah, his wife, their 3 sons. Who were the other 3? Dag?
3 wives.
Yes, indeed, the sons, 3 wives. Mathematics, please. How many prime numbers are positive even numbers? Matty?
Just 1.
Yes, indeed, 2. Still mathematics. What fraction of an even number is always its highest factor? Dag?
Half.
Indeed it is. 20th century figures. Who, the first Prime Minister of a Commonwealth country, took office in 1947, having spent... Matty?
You
tell me.
Nehru.
Yes. He'd spent 18 of the previous 25 years in jail. Literature. Which writer described a race of creatures or characters he created as a little people? Dag?
Tolkien.
Dogs. Which breed of retriever takes its name from an inlet of the Atlantic Ocean? Dag?
Labrador.
It was going to be, which runs north from the coast of Virginia and bisects Maryland, the Chesapeake Bay Retriever. Architecture. What is the difference between supporting pillars or columns called caryatids? Dag?
Caryatids female, Telemons male.
They are indeed. A young man passes his driving test on his 17th birthday and is issued with his first full licence. For how many years? Dag?
53.
Yes, until he's 70. And word origins. Which hyphenated word denoting a special or memorable day derives from the Times? Dag?
Red letter.
It does. And will you please look at this and tell me, this Italian composer died in 1924. His name, Gavin?
Giacomo Puccini.
It is. The royal family. What relation were Prince Philip's great-grandmother on his mother's side, that's Princess Alice, and the Queen's great-grandfather on her father's side? They were sister and brother, both children of Queen Victoria. Food and drink. Which group of people would eat meat referred to as long pig? Matty?
Cannibals.
Yes, it's a term which dates from the mid-19th century. the New Testament St. John, the feeding of the 5,000. Where did Andrew tell Jesus that those 5 loaves and 2 fishes had come from? Interesting story. A little boy in the crowd had them. I've always wondered what he told his mother when he went home. Shakespeare and cricket. What name links a poet character in Pericles, an army captain in Henry V, and a former England cricketer and media personality? Gower. The name, please, of the 35 square miles of ancient forest between the River Severn and the River Wye in Gloucestershire. Dag?
Forester Dean.
The British monarchy in the 17th century. His father, who had reigned earlier in the century, was beheaded. His daughter... Gavin?
Charles II.
James II. His daughter, who came after him, ruled jointly with her husband. Will you please look at this and tell me, Anne Baxter on the left, Betty Davis on the right. Which classic 1950 film is this? Gavin?
All About Eve.
Yes, and if you look very carefully, you can see a little Marilyn Monroe sitting down there on the steps. On we go, please. Will you please look at this and tell me first name and surname of this lady? She's the Member of Parliament for Bethnal Green and Bow. Dag?
Diane Abbott.
No, Una King. And on we go, please. Roman Britain, 1 mile west of Chichester in West Sussex, is the site of the largest Roman building. Dag?
Fishbourne.
Yes, Roman Palace. On we go, myth and legend. According to legend, from which tribe did the Romans carry off young women because no women lived in Rome when Romulus founded it? Sabine. Will you please look at this and tell me? This author won the 1998 Booker Prize with his novel Amsterdam. His name, Dag?
Ian McEwan.
On we go, please. Will you now please look at this also and tell me? Matty?
Neil Jenkins.
Yes, he scored more points, 984 in international rugby, than any other player. Who is the author of an autobiography called Losing My Virginity? Matty?
Richard Branson.
Films in the 1990s. Which Disney film tells the story of an animal cub whose father's death... Matty?
The Lion King.
Yes, brought about by his wicked uncle. Quotations. The most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. The words of which South African leader who died in police custody in 1977? Dag?
Steve Biko.
Will you please look at this and tell me? Dag?
Ali G.
In which country is the point of land furthest away from the open sea? Gavin?
Russia.
China. Jonathan Swift, Gulliver's Travels. The people of Lilliput are divided into 2 parties, the Big Endians and the Little Endians. What does that refer to? Matty?
Which end they open their egg.
Yes, open the boiled egg. And literature. Which enigmatic creature is called Thales Sestriana in the Latin version of Alice in Wonderland? Matty?
Cheshire Cat.
Yes. And will you please look at this and tell me, Gavin?
James Dean.
That wasn't going to be the question, which was James Dean, in his role as Jet Rink in his last film, which 1950s film? And the answer, Giant. I said at the end of round 2 that I thought the standard got higher and higher. It keeps going higher. Matty, 123. Do you know you answered 11 questions in rounds 1 and 2 without losing a life? Did you know that it was 11 questions? Well, it was, I can promise you. 123, 2 lives left. Gavin, 32. And Dag, 151. The 10 for that don't matter now. You are our new 15-1 champion, and Laura has something for you.
There we go.
Well
We'll leave it there for a while.
Thank you.
Very well done.
Thank you.
This is brilliant final. Very quick.
Yeah.
There isn't anything else except to say well done, all 3 of you. Well done, Matty. Well done, Gavin. Well done, chap. I think it was a great final. Anyway, that's it for this series. Throughout the summer, starting on Tuesday the 20th of June, you'll have a second chance to see the series first broadcast last autumn, and we'll be back with a new series in September, which will take us up to Christmas. Have happy summer holidays, and we'll see you later in the year. Goodbye.
So 15-1's back on Tuesday then, making way for 4's cricket coverage. Next up on 4, all you need is Countdown.